In the aftermath of World War II, Berlin, the capital of defeated Germany, became a focal point of Cold War tensions between the Allied powers and the Soviet Union. The Berlin Airlift, which took place from June 1948 to May 1949, was a monumental effort by the Western Allies to provide vital supplies to the people of West Berlin, demonstrating resilience and solidarity in the face of geopolitical conflict. Post-war Berlin and rising tensions divided city. At the end of World War II, Berlin was divided into 4 occupation zones, each controlled by one of the major Allied powers: the United States, the United Kingdom, France, and the Soviet Union. The city itself was located deep within the Soviet-occupied zone of East Germany. This division extended into the city's core, creating East Berlin, under Soviet control, and West Berlin, which was surrounded by Soviet-controlled East Germany but administered by the Western Allies. Soviet blockade tensions between the Soviet Union and the Western Allies escalated as the Cold War began. In June 1948, the Soviet Union, under Joseph Stalin, imposed a blockade on all land and water routes into West Berlin. The Soviets aimed to force the Western Allies out of the city by cutting off their supply lines, hoping to bring West Berlin to its knees and force the Allies to abandon their post-war commitments. The response: the Berlin Airlift. Organizing the airlift faced with the blockade, the Western Allies, primarily the United States and the United Kingdom, decided to respond with an ambitious airlift operation to supply West Berlin with food, fuel, and other essential goods. The operation was codenamed Operation Vittles by the Americans and Operation Plainfare by the British. General Lucius D. Clay, the U.S. military governor of the American zone in Germany, and British Air Commodore Reginald W. McElroy played key roles in orchestrating the airlift. The logistical challenge was immense, as Berlin's population of over 2 million people required a continuous supply of goods. The airlift operation commences. The Berlin Airlift began on June 26, 1948. The Allies employed a fleet of cargo planes, including the Douglas C-47 Skytrain and the larger Douglas C-54 Skymaster, to fly supplies into Berlin. Initially, only a few planes were used, but the operation rapidly scaled up to handle the enormous demand. Airlift statistics: the scale of the airlift was unprecedented. At its peak, aircraft landed in Berlin every few minutes, delivering an average of 4,000 tons of supplies daily. Pilots and ground crews worked around the clock, braving challenging weather conditions and the risk of Soviet interference. The airlift not only delivered food and fuel but also provided coal for heating during the harsh winter months. The Allied forces established 3 major air corridors over which the planes could safely travel into Berlin. Berlin's Tempelhof Airport became a critical hub, handling the bulk of the incoming flights. Challenges and successes: logistical difficulties. The airlift faced numerous challenges, including navigating through poor weather, managing air traffic in congested skies, and ensuring the safety of flights amid the political tension. Despite these difficulties, the operation demonstrated remarkable efficiency and coordination. Soviet reaction: the Soviet Union, while maintaining the blockade, refrained from direct military confrontation. The airlift's success gradually eroded Stalin's strategy. By May 1949, the Soviets recognized the futility of the blockade and lifted it, allowing land and water routes into West Berlin to reopen. Impact and legacy: humanitarian success. The Berlin Airlift was a remarkable humanitarian success. It ensured that West Berlin's citizens had access to necessary supplies and demonstrated the Western Allies' commitment to defending democratic values against Soviet pressure. The operation solidified Western resolve and served as a powerful symbol of unity and resilience. Geopolitical significance: the airlift also had significant geopolitical implications. It marked a clear failure of Soviet attempts to drive the Allies out of Berlin and showcased the effectiveness of American and British cooperation. The success of the Berlin Airlift contributed to the solidification of the NATO alliance and underscored the ideological divide between the capitalist West and the communist East. Long-term effects: Berlin's future. In the years following the airlift, Berlin continued to be a focal point of Cold War tensions. The city remained divided until the fall of the Berlin Wall in 1989, which symbolized the end of the Cold War and the reunification of Germany. Historical lessons: the Berlin Airlift remains a powerful example of how determination, coordination, and resilience can overcome significant obstacles. It is remembered as one of the Cold War's most dramatic episodes, reflecting both the potential for cooperation and the deep-seated divisions that characterized the era. Conclusion: the Berlin Airlift was more than a logistical operation. It was a defining moment in the early Cold War that showcased the resolve of the Western Allies to stand firm against Soviet aggression. By providing essential supplies to the people of West Berlin, the airlift not only alleviated a humanitarian crisis but also affirmed the principles of freedom and democracy. The legacy of the Berlin Airlift endures as a testament to the power of unity and determination in the face of adversity.